So I'll do one more and then leave you the other one to try out. Even though you may think or you may say, I got it, well, this is a good one, so have a look. Alright, so let's follow what you guys learned. Group all the terms with logs together, so move this one to this side. Okay, left hand side I have log base of 4 2x plus 1, and then this is negative, move it to the other side, or basically add log base 4 of x minus 1 to each side, so plus log base 4 of x minus 1, and then the right hand side we only have 1/2 left. Okay, and then after that we can apply the product law because you have the same base, log base 4, so log base 4, so now we can put all this together. This times this. Well, to avoid confusion, put another pair of brackets around so that we know the log base 4 applies to both. Anyway, so now convert this into the exponential form, i.e. get rid of the log. Okay, so take this, the base of 4, move it to the other side and turn it into the base of the exponent. So right hand side you have 4 raised to the power of 1/2, and then after doing that the log is gone, so that means I only end up with this 2x plus 1 and then x minus 1. So if you look at this, just do the FOIL thing. I'll quickly show you this. This times that, and then this times that. After that, this times that, and then this times that. Alright, so 2x times x gives you 2x squared, and then 2x times -1 gives you -2x, and then 1 times x gives you x, and then 1 times -1 gives you -1. Right hand side, 4 raised to the power of 1/2. You can plug that into your calculator if you don't know what that is. This is basically the square root of 4, which gives you 2. Now the last thing you want to do is to get rid of 2, move it to the other side so that you end up with 0. Why do we want to do that? Because this is a quadratic. You'll see that in a second. So -2 on each side so that you can get rid of this. Okay, let's simplify all this. So 2x squared, and then -2x plus x gives you -x, and then -1 minus 2 gives you -3, and then right hand side that gives you 0. Okay, then you can solve this. Okay, so there are several ways you can do the factoring. One way is by graphing. If you still know how to do this, graph this, look for the x-intercepts. Okay, another way is use a quadratic equation. Sorry, I mean quadratic formula right here. Plug that in, a, b, c, and d. A is 2, B is -1, C is -3. Plug that in and then solve for x, or do it the math 10C way, do it algebraically. So I'm going to do it algebraically. So if you look at this, because it doesn't matter which way you do, your answer should be the same as what you're going to see here. So since it is not 1, then what do? You cannot do this. Nope, it doesn't work out. So look at the first number, the coefficient of square term, which is 2. Look at the constant term, -3. 2 times -3 gives you -6. So find two numbers that multiply to -6 and add to -1. So I hope you see that it would be negative 3 and 2. Okay, then do this 2x squared, rewrite the middle term. Just that you know that if you use the quadratic formula, it might be easier. But anyway, so instead of writing negative x, you write that as negative 3x plus 2x. Have a look. This is the same as negative x. You see in a second what's going on. Okay, then look at the first two terms and then look at the last two terms. Look at the first two terms first. See if there's any common factor. You should see one, which is x. So factor out the x. So that gives you 2x minus 3. And then if you look at the last two terms, yes, there's no common factor, but can we write that as this? 1 times 2x minus 3. It's still the same as this, except some of you may say Chang wrote this in a weird way or stupid way because he factored 1 as a factor. Anyway, so now if you look at this, this should be the same as this. If not, you screw up somewhere. So now you can see that we have a common factor again, but this time it is 2x minus 3. So factor out the 2x minus 3, 2x minus 3, and then divide this by 2x minus 3, that gives you x, and then plus divide this by 2x minus 3, that gives you 1 equals to 0. So now math 10c stuff, 0 product rule. If this times this equal to 0, that means this is either this is equal to 0, so we set this to be equal to 0, or this is equal to 0. If you don't know what this is, one more time, 0 product rule. So look at your math 10c notes. Anyway, so let's quickly solve this. 2x is 3, x is 3 half. That's one answer. Another answer is x equals to negative 1. Last but not the least, let's check the NPVs, sorry. So you have 2 to check. So check for NPVs. So this has to be greater than 0. So 2x plus 1 is, greater than 0. So 2x is greater than negative 1. X has to be greater than negative 1 half. That's one. Another one is this. X minus 1 has to be greater than 0. So if you work this out, x has to be 1. Now we have 2 restrictions. Which one is the final one? I'm going to show you this one last time if you still don't get it. So hopefully you get it after this one. So x is greater than negative 1 half. This one says x has to be greater than 1. So where is the most overlap region? Here. So that means x has to be greater than 1. Alright. Don't think we are done, because if you look at our answers, what are our answers? 3 half and negative 1. But what was the NPV or the restrictions we just found? X has to be greater than 1. This is greater than 1, fine. This is not greater than 1. So what does that mean? This is extraneous. You ignore that. You don't cross that out. You write down extraneous root. Why? If you plug in x, negative 1 for x, here you will make this undefined. So it's contradicting the question. So I'm going to leave you with question D here. Alright, so for question D, check out the answers. Alright, I don't mind telling you that one of one of the answers is extraneous. Okay, so check that out. All right, our last question for the whole unit is here. So have a look. As I mentioned before, you're not expected to know all science or all other stuff, but at least you should be able to apply the mathematical concept. So here's the equation given to you, and the two variables are S, which is the length of a skull, and then M is the mass in kilograms. All right, so for part A, find the estimated mass of an Albertosaurus that had a skull length of 0.78 meters. So we can, I'm too lazy to copy down the equation again. So here we go. So if you look at this, we already know that S is 0.78. So let's plug that in here. So 3.6022 times log of 0.78 equals to, in this case, you are trying to find the mass, so therefore we don't know M. Leave that, that's fine. Minus 3.4444. Okay, so now we get rid of the 3.4444 thing. So by adding 3.4444 on each side, add 3.4444, gone. Right hand side, just log M. Left hand side, we have 3.6022 log of 0.78 plus 3.4444. Alright, then the last step is to get rid of the log so that M is by itself. How? Well, it may not be obvious, but I hope this is obvious. There's a base here, which is base 10, the normal log. So you move the base up here. In that case, you can get rid of the log, so it's just M here, and then you have this big exponent. So this becomes your exponent. The base 10 for the log is now the base of the exponent. So 3.6022 log 0.78 plus 3.4444. And then if you plug this into your calculator, M is, well, let's, the question talks about, the question did not talk about the rounding. So that means in this case, you can, if you want, round it to your nearest whole number. So that gives you 1,137. What's the mass? In kilograms. All right. Okay, last part, part B. What is the estimated skull size of a 5,500 kilogram T-Rex? So let me just bring this here. So in this case, we know that the skull size S is this. Sorry, this is the mass, which is M. So the only thing missing is the S skull size. So just plug the numbers, just plug the number in. So 3.6022 log of S equals to log of M, which is 5,500 kilograms. It is already in kilograms, which meets the requirement of the mass in kilograms. Okay, because some of you know that in science they would be a little bit tricky, or they try to trick you on the diploma exam. So log of 5,500 minus 3.4444. So all you have to do is divide both sides by 3.6022. So 3.6022, 3.6022, and of course that and that cancel out, so that leaves you with log s equals to, if you do that, log s would be 0.08216, and then to get rid of the log, you move the base of 10 to the other side, so that means s is equal to 10 raised to the power of 0.08216. So if you do that on your calculator, in this case, for the rounding, let's do it to the nearest hundredth. So doesn't matter, the question did not mention that. You can do it to the nearest tenth, probably not round to the whole number because you will be missing a lot of accuracy. So that gives you 1.21 meters. So now that this wraps up everything in this unit, exponential function and logarithmic function. So for this topic here, there are two parts. For the exponential equation, these are questions you can try. For the logarithmic equations, these are the questions you can try. So enjoy, and we'll move on to the next topic.